We're going to compare Naruto Storm Connections and Naruto Storm games to boxing. We're going to actually use these classes that were created in 1738. There's two of them that were created in 1738. That's the lightweight and the heavyweight division. We're not going to use the other 17 classes or the 17 classes. We're just going to use three. We're going to use the middleweight from 1840. We're going to use that word and convert it to power level. Heavyweight would be a heavy power level or hard style. Middleweight would be a middle power level or a medium style. A lightweight would be a light power level where they're not very strong at all. They don't have a lot of abilities in their kit to actually do anything to be a threat or to hurt you. There could be technically a character that could be in lightweight that could compete in all categories, and there could technically be a character that's in middleweight that can punch up. There are a few characters in middleweight that can punch up to heavyweight. If you really want super competitive fights, you should never allow heavyweight characters to compete in middleweight because the maximum weight or power level would be 160 pounds or 72.57 kilograms. So how would we determine that? Do the supports and jutsus of the character and jutsu supports of the character waste multiple subs, and are they very effective at wasting subs, or do they not waste subs at all? So we're going to look at multiple substitution hits. We're going to look at tracking, because tracking would increase the effectiveness of wasting a sub. We're going to look at the damage. We're going to look at priorities of the combos of the characters. That matters more post-patch, because before the armor was so strong that your combos didn't matter. So it actually balanced out all the combos, but now we have to deal with crazy combo priority. This is a good example where this jutsu wastes multiple hits on this Kabuto, the purple poison jutsu, but it doesn't really matter because the armor was nerfed and the effective range is so small that it doesn't work like as good as Karen's does. Karen's kind of goes out and forward. It has forward momentum and forward hitboxes. Well, this has more lateral hitboxes, and you basically have to run into it. So when it hits you, it's pretty good, but the poison was nerfed as well. I think the poison's still good, but it was nerfed comparatively. A lot of these characters pretty much are lightweights. Well, another thing you'll consider is unblockables, but unblockable projectile Kakashi's Kamui is way better than this. He has the unblockable projectile jutsu, so I'm just automatically putting him in middleweight, even though the rest of him is not that great. So all these are lightweights. You can put them in teams to compete up, but if you really want a competitive fight, you would only pick 2-man teams or 3-man teams with these characters. Even if you just used lightweights and middleweights and played with those, you'll have a much more balanced, much more fun game. Of course, this character is a little sus. Some of these characters are a little suspect. Like this Karama Shroud is really good. This ability he has goes through everything pretty much in the game, and he ends up on the other side of you. So that jutsu, he might actually be a heavyweight or S tier character. Think of it this way. If you were playing yourself, or if the best player was playing themselves, they're just not going to be able to compete if they use like Hinata and Jiraiya, or Obito and Hinata 2-man team, or Obito, Hinata, and Jiraiya 3-man team, and then I fight the Raikage, Neji, and Tobirama, and I fight myself, I'm never even going to beat myself. Maybe once or twice out of 10 times. We're not talking about skill ceilings and skill floors. We're not talking about tiers. We're talking about the actual combined power of these characters. I find middleweight the most enjoyable, right? Itachi's in here, Indra's in here. Anything with Amaterasu automatically puts you in middle tier. There's a lot of characters with multiple hits, like these spider bug jutsu. Sai could potentially be a heavyweight character, but maybe not. I need your help. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to watch the entire video, then leave a comment. And I want you to tell me everything that you think about these characters, in which classes they should be in, and why. They have grab loops, right? So the other thing to consider is these guys have crazy grab loops and really good first hit priority. And this character has a jail, but his jutsus are not that great. Like this Neji's jutsus are horrible. Switching into his grab loop is crazy. Haku's really good. Maskman used to be S tier, but now that he doesn't have armor, he gets hit easily in the beginning and the end of Heaven and Earth Burial. She has a pop-up jutsu here. This character is really bad, except for his bombs are really good and his awakening is decent. They nerfed his dirty deeds or his tilt jutsu, the way he flies across with invincibility. They nerfed that. This character, he tanks a lot of damage. You know, he's really good. His fire jutsu is really good. She's great. Neji out for sure in Storm 4 is like an S tier character, but in this game, I mean, maybe he is, but his mash is really good. It's lag proof. These characters are questionable. They could be in heavy tier. It's possible. I can play Raikage at a high level, and so can my friend. We played each other, and he could not beat at all, even come close to my Momoshiki when I was playing Momoshiki. Why is Nagato here? He has great priority. He has a great kit, but everything is kind of nerfed and cost a lot. His jutsus cost a lot and all that. He used to be like a secret S tier with armor and all that. Chakra Dissection Blade went crazy, and I have gameplay to show that from the old game. Now he's just kind of like whatever, because he doesn't have a projectile. A lot of times not having a projectile kind of messes you up, and then this character got nerfed a lot. If you want to punch up, you can. You can always pick these characters and play in heavyweight division. You will have a lot harder time, and you'll probably lose a lot more. The heavyweight characters: Momoshiki, Hanzo, Hagoromo, Kaguya, Tamari, Shikamaru, Boro, his bug jutsu. All these characters are heavyweights. Maybe she's not, I don't know. Like, she definitely is in Storm 4 because of her water bullets, but in this game, I mean, her jutsu is still really good. The tilt jutsu goes crazy. There's multiple hits, there's some tracking, there's some checkmate situations there with that water jutsu that goes all over the place. This Sasuke is just insane. I mean, this Choji is pretty good. Just for the sake of, not that he's just a dash cut. Dash cuts don't mean that much in this game compared to past games. It means something, but it doesn't mean everything. I don't think you should ban dash cut characters in this game. I don't think it's that bad. But in Storm 4, for sure, it's just crazy in past games. You know, Orochimaru has multiple hits in his sword jutsu, and he's got a really great air jutsu, and his awakening is really good. Minato, even, you know, his jutsus are horrible after the patch. He's actually has a very high skill ceiling still. After the patch, I don't even think he's like a heavyweight, really. The only reason why he would be heavyweight is if you mastered the game, mastered fundamentals, and you can abuse his speed. Yeah, for sure. His speed just puts him in heavyweight automatically if you know what you're doing and you just grab everything. Grab and you dodge, and that's it. If we're talking about beginners, intermediate players, average players, or even above average players, I don't even think he's a heavyweight. But the problem is, if you put him in middleweight or lightweight, he will just destroy everyone if you know what you're doing. Kasame's ultimate jutsu, dude, you just spam that thing. It's crazy. Also, he's a tank. He tanks everything. He's really good. He's S tier heavyweight for sure. You know, she's been nerfed, but she's really, really good. Multiple hits. Both her jutsus are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Not as good as they were, but they're good. Utakata, tracking, bubbles, sub-traps. He's nuts. Invincibility frames on ultimate jutsu, sub-traps. Crazy. This wall just blocks everything, right? Like, you can basically just stop things by putting this wall up. This cannon is still really good. This Naruto is still really good. I love this Naruto. Ino's jutsu that has 3 flower bombs and just covers the entire spread of the map is crazy. Hidan is like super crazy in terms of tanking. A hidden gem, if you're not using him, use him. He's really, really good. Of course, Yukuto with her mash and her tilt jutsu. Shisui should never be used in middleweight or lightweight because his Halo Fire Dance. If it only had like 1 fire or 2 maybe, but it has 3, and his speed is similar to Minato where you can, you know, really abuse people with speed. That fire jutsu that he has that has a triple sub trap, right? 2 or 3 sub traps. Alive Hashirama spamming his tilt jutsu where he jumps forward like Tsunade's Heaven Kick of Pain, but much better. It has sub-traps, has crazy hitboxes, it still has basically armor. It's like it hasn't been nerfed. So you can basically fight as a character that hasn't been nerfed yet, which is insane. Danzo, one-hit kill. Yes, she has a one-hit kill, but this is way more reliable. Also, his kit is just better. This character's mash is just insane. Both Lees are definitely heavyweights. All puppets are heavyweights for sure. The way that they manipulate space, pressure, and how they have superior dash clashes and superior dashes. Hinata's air palms, she's my most used support. And I have to agree, and I have to admit, even though she's been nerfed, even though the 64 trigrams is nowhere near as good, you get interrupted all the time, you can just do air palms over and over and over again, and I'm fine with that, but she's a heavyweight. Her booby traps are crazy, and she has the chakra pill, and a lot of PTS characters have recovery frames. You do something, and then you're instantly safe. Like, I punch you once, I'm safe. I punch you 2 times, I'm safe. I punch you 3 times, I'm safe. Everything they do, they can basically attack you without being punished. Mitsuki, you know, multiple hits, both jutsus are crazy. Awakening is crazy. This Naruto's great. Multiple sub-traps, you can't even stand anywhere. So that's fine to have these things. I'm not saying ban anything. I'm just saying when you're fighting, know what the power level is of your team. In Storm 4, he's one of the best characters in the game. It's not the same character. Even though it looks the same, the character is nowhere near as good in this game. He has some good things going for him, but he's not a heavyweight character. And like just having Amaterasu is not enough. It depends, right? Amaterasu Fireball is way better than a lot of other things.